Hey everybody, how's it going? B Temple coming back again, and today we've got something that's a little bit different. Something that's not seen too often, especially on YouTube, and something that you just don't see in the ration community very much to begin with. What we have here is a Norwegian tropical ration. I know that's two words that don't seem to go together easily, Norwegian and tropical, but this is exactly what it is. It doesn't look a whole lot like a normal Norwegian ration for anyone who's ever had the Norwegian Arctic Field Ration by Dry Tech, which comes in sort of a square green container. This looks absolutely nothing at all like that. The only thing that would perhaps lead you to believe that this is Norwegian is the fact that the writing itself is in Norwegian. But we've got ourselves menu number 19, beef bolognese with pasta shells, and got ourselves a menu list on the back and a bunch of items in a clear package. And yeah, so I'm going to run through this one today. It's just a single meal ration, and perhaps some of you may be wondering why Norway would need a tropical ration to begin with. These aren't specifically meant for use in exercises in their home country. These are more meant for Norwegian forces that are in service in various places around the world that obviously are more of a warmer climate. And historically, Norway has been a member of various United Nations missions around the world, especially in the last few decades, where something like this, a warm weather ration, would be more preferable. So they've been in various missions, at least 2 in the Sudan, also at least 2 missions in Iraq, Afghanistan, also border skirmishes between Ethiopia and Eritrea, and various other sort of parts of the world that, the normal Norwegian Arctic ration probably wouldn't be the best idea, where that ration needs an awful lot of water in order to rehydrate its main meal, which is, freeze-dried, all that kind of thing. So you're expending an awful lot of water that you probably should be drinking. So for this, you don't really need any extra water, aside from, of course, the drinks that you're going to mix up, but you don't need water for your main meal. All you're going to have in this is a main meal packet, and you're also going to get an FRH, as it shows here. Individual flameless ration heater, which is something that you will not get in a Norwegian Arctic Field ration. I would be remiss if I didn't at least give a shout out to the great group that I got this particular ration from. They're called Genuine Army Rations. They have a shop on eBay. They also are affiliated with the shop on Amazon. I'm gonna link both of the links to their shops in the description below. You should go check them out. I got this for a great deal, along with 2 other particular rations. One of them was spicy vegetable pasta, I believe, and the other one was a fruitful muesli. So they have both main meal, sort of lunch, supper sort of meals, and they also have breakfast meals as well. And I got these for a great deal, and they're great to deal with, and you should certainly go check out their shop. So what do we sort of have here? Let's unbox or unbag or unpack, whatever you want to say, this thing. Once again, it's beef bolognese, menu number 19. It's just your standard sort of clear Ziploc bag. For those of you who have had British 12-hour rations, these look almost exactly like that, and there's a reason for that. You'll notice once we get all the items laid out that this particular ration is eerily similar to British 12-hour rations. So what do we got? So first of all, we got our menu content sheet, and then we've also got a sort of give your opinion of it sort of questionnaire on all the items, if you like it, if you don't like it. And this is in Norwegian, and I don't speak Norwegian or read Norwegian, but there it is. Got a tuna and pizza sauce from Beyond the Beaten Track. I've had some of the Beyond the Beaten Track various tuna pouches before, but I've never had this particular one. I know this particular ration has only been seen, I believe, twice on YouTube, and I know Gundog has done one of the rations, and in his ration he happened to have this particular tuna. He had a different main meal and a bunch of different other items, but I know this particular item was there. Got your standard antibacterial alcohol-free white. Got a different spoon. This doesn't look like any other spoon I've seen in any ration before. It's a little bit flimsy, but also it's not too bad. It's a lot better than, say, the spoon you would get in the Arctic Norwegian ration. Got a fruit flavored energy drink, apple. Got a Bridgeford whole wheat bread. Got a London breakfast tea from the London Tea Company. Also a packet of sugar. Some V6 sweet menthol gum. Pack of Nescafe coffee, which I won't be drinking. Salt and pepper. You don't often see just regular black pepper show up in rations, and it's always nice. It's a nice little touch when they add that there. Got a little packet of Apricot Jam. This is the same exact jam you would find in French RCIRs. Sometimes it also shows up in various other European rations. We've got our FRH from Beyond the Beaten Track once again. And it's just one, it's not a particularly large heating element, but it's got a lot of powder in there, so I'm hoping it's going to have good power. And then we've got our main meal. We got a 400-gram pouch of beef bolognese and pasta shells. And best before November 2017. So we're a few months past the best by date, but obviously this stuff, you know, it's meant to be shelf stable. Shouldn't be that bad, actually. Get a nice look at the ingredients here. And you'll notice, produced in the UK for Vesti Foods. And you will notice that on pretty much, well, many of the items. Vesti Foods, and Vesti Foods will also be on this as well. So you look at this particular ration, and yeah, everything is pretty much what you would find in a British ORP, especially in a 12-hour ration. So it seems like Norway decided to just outsource the creation of this ration. They just basically bought everything from the UK instead of getting Drytech, which would be the creator of their ration for their Arctic Field ration, to then make their own version of this. They probably found it cheaper, I suppose, to go outside and get something else. This is all readily available already, and it should have been, I'm sure, very easy and a lot cheaper to just purchase these items as opposed to having them made in their own home country. So, I guess what do we have left to do? Let's prepare our main meal first, I suppose. Let's get our FRH going. As we can see, there is no fill line, but it does tell us to add 60 mils of water to this. Oh, I was wrong. There is actually a fill line here. This little squiggly line underneath. So just tear the top off the bag. Got our element here. We'll pour in our water. That should be about enough. We'll slide our main in there. We'll make sure the element's good and hydrated. We'll fold this over a little bit, and we'll just keep that right there. And we really shouldn't need a whole lot of other water now, except to mix up our drink. So I guess we'll go ahead and do that now. So we got our apple flavored beverage. Get our good old Strongbow glass like I always use. This says to mix with 500 mils of water. It's a lot of powder coming off of that. Almost looks like smoke. That's an incredibly strong apple smell. Artificial apple. We'll kind of just eyeball 500 mils. That looks about right. Actually, that's probably less than 500 mils, but I don't mind these being mixed up a little bit stronger than what they call for. And it appears that our FRH is starting to do its thing. Wow. You can't really see from here, but the water underneath is actually boiling. It's bubbling. This appears to have a good amount of power, fairly similar to the Russian FRH from the mountain ration that I used a few days ago. So yeah, this should hopefully get everything nice and warmed up. We'll get our whole wheat bread ready. Don't need our desiccant packet. So if anyone's seen my Danish ration review, these whole wheat breads were in that, and these are usually actually pretty good. This one feels it's a little bit dense, but we can use it either for the tuna, I suppose. We can put the jam on there. I don't really see the need of making the coffee or the tea. I've already got one beverage, and yeah, I don't really need any more than just the one beverage that's there. Just tear the top off of our jam. These Andros jams are always fantastic. And I guess we can just open up our tuna. We'll probably just place it in this little slot here. Having seen Gundog's review, I at least have some sort of idea what this should look like. Yeah, it's a little bit more watery than I expected, but I know Gundog had the same sort of comment to make about it as well. So, but it does look very good. We've got big chunks of tuna here. We've also got chunks of tomato and green pepper and onion in a little bit of a sort of a tomato type sauce. A little bit of, I guess it's a little bit oily and a little bit of tomato all mixed into one. But the smell coming off of there is absolutely fantastic. I'm surprised actually. Usually these beyond the beaten track tuna pouches are actually pretty good. The tuna puttanesca is fantastic. Tuna lime and pepper. All of them are actually pretty good. I don't think I've had the light mayo one yet, but I'm sure I'll come across it at some point in my journey through these military rations. So this is still getting heated up. I'll kind of move it just a little tiny bit. And yeah, I guess what we can probably do to save time a little bit is maybe try some of the other items first before we get to the main. So let's give the bread a little bit of a try. As you can see, once again, it's like two ends of whole wheat loaves sort of pushed together. It's a very dense piece of bread. Try it on its own first, see what it's like. While it's dense, it's surprisingly not as dry as one would expect it to be. It's got a great whole wheat bread flavor if you like whole wheat bread. I mean, it tastes just like whole wheat bread. It's got a little bit of a, what you would call, I guess, a chemical aftertaste. Obviously, it's shelf-stable bread, so it's not going to be the same thing as, popping down to the local bakery and getting some whole wheat bread, but it's actually, for what it is, very, very good. It's a hell of a lot better than, American wheat snack bread from their MREs. But, it is actually very, very good. We'll try a little bit of this apricot jam on here now. See what that does to it. Yeah, that apricot jam is fantastic. Probably would have preferred maybe something like biscuit brown, something like that. A cracker, an oat biscuit to go with the jam as opposed to the whole wheat bread. But it still complements it very well. It's obviously, tastes like apricot jam. Most times that you get an apricot jam in a military ration, it always seems to be very, very good. It's always a solid choice, I suppose. It's the best way to put it. Guess we'll try out our tuna now while we're still waiting for the main to finally finish up. Trying to get a little bit of everything in this spoonful. So we got some pepper and onion and tomato and our tuna. Try to get it to focus a little bit better. There we go. Yeah. So it looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. It says it's in pizza sauce. I've never had a pizza that tastes like this. Not to say that it's bad, because it's actually very, very enjoyable. It's got a little bit of, I guess, what you would think to be like an Italian kind of flavor to it. But it doesn't have a pizza flavor like you would find here. Obviously, of course, it's tuna, so it's not going to taste like pizza very much at all. But the sauce itself just has this kind of standard Italian tomato and herb kind of flavor. But yeah, this is actually very enjoyable. You wouldn't think you'd find tuna refreshing, but yeah, it's a really refreshing flavor. Really pleasing to the palate. It's very, I guess, Moorish would be something you would say here. You know, you just want to keep going back to it. Speaking of that, let's try a little bit of that bread and the tuna together. See how this goes. Once again, that's fantastic. It all goes well together. It seems like an odd mix of items, perhaps, but they do all seem to actually fit once you try them all out. For something that's considered to be an expired ration, this all tastes perfect. Tastes just the same as if maybe you got like an ORP that was made 6 months ago. You know, none of this has sort of any signs of age, as it were. So I'm sure it's been stored well, and it's high quality items anyway. So this has been fantastic so far. Let's try out the apple drink. Sort of cleanse the palate a little bit before we move along finally to our main meal. Ooh, and yeah, that's a strong apple flavor. A lot of European rations will come with an apple flavored drink. I know the Arctic Norwegian field ration comes with an apple drink, but it's made by Real Foods. And I think this one here's got a little bit of a stronger flavor. Maybe a little tiny bit more artificial, but the flavor itself is stronger, and it's actually very good. So yeah, I guess we can finally give our main meal a try. This is still incredibly hot. There's still steam coming out of there. Haul our main meal out. Oh yeah, that feels very warm. Ooh, it's almost too warm to touch, actually. And let's tear this open and give it a try. It's a little bit wet. It's a little bit hard to gain purchase of it, as they would say. Yeah, gonna have to cut this open. That really doesn't want to open very well, but anyway, we got enough of it open. Let's pour it out. As with many of these British rations, obviously it's a 400-gram main, so this is an incredibly large main portion. So you can see obviously this sort of beef bolognese sauce with a lot of pasta shells. It's in a nice sort of, you know, tomato-based kind of sauce. Seems like it's sort of heated well through. Let's give that a try. Yeah, for a standard, you know, ration pasta dish, it's actually pretty good. You get pasta a lot. Pasta's easy to prepare and put in retort pouches, and it holds well and it reheats well. So it's a good standard sort of meal no matter where it is you are. But yeah, it's got a great flavor. It's a nice strong beef flavor, but it's got that kind of, you know, canned pasta kind of flavor to it. It's not like, you know, you make it at home kind of thing. But for what it is, it's actually really nice. You know, the sauce got a little bit of acidity to it. The pasta's, you know, still got a little tiny bit of bite. It's probably closer to mushy than it is to al dente. But, you know, for what it is, it's actually very nice. Now, because we have it, we'll put some of this pepper on here. They certainly don't give you very much, but it's better to get a little bit of pepper than none at all. So let's try this little section here with the black pepper and see what that does. Oh yeah, that really makes it a whole lot better. Usually black pepper can help bring something out, you know. And see, we got the bread here. Let's just try a little bit on the bread for the sake of saying that we tried everything. There There we go. That went really well together. The bread mixed with the pasta. I think that's probably the best way to go, actually. That's even better than the jam on it or the tuna. The way those two flavor profiles actually go together, it's really, really pleasing. I'm really quite impressed with the quality of this ration. Obviously, it's pretty much the same exact thing as a British 12-hour ration, and you know, usually British rations always get a very good name. The 24-hour ORPs I've had, every single one of them has been fantastic. So, really nothing bad to say about this ration at all. Obviously, I mean, I did make the coffee and I did make the tea. I probably could have done that, but I didn't really feel the need to make a bunch of different beverages, especially coffee. I don't drink coffee anyway, and I didn't particularly want the tea right now. So I'm sure some people will probably complain about that, but anyway, this has been the menu number 19, beef bolognese and pasta shells, Norwegian tropical ration, and it's been fantastic. I once again got this from Genuine Army Rations on eBay. You should go check them out. They got a great store, and be coming back to you guys as soon as I possibly can with something that's hopefully interesting and perhaps rare. So have a good one.